Okay, we are going to talk today about your body paragraphs and how to take the evidence from what you found in your documentary and actually get it into your paper and use the right format for it. So we are going to review a little bit about what you are trying to do in all of your body paragraphs. Remember that it always comes back to prove your thesis. Remember what we talked about. Your opinion doesn't matter anymore. It only matters if you can back it up with experts and other people. So that becomes your job in your body paragraph. Take your thesis, whatever you're going to claim or argue, go through your body paragraphs with evidence. You cannot prove your thesis without the evidence. So here's what it's going to look like throughout the body paragraphs. Part 1, you should know this by now. Every body paragraph has to have a topic sentence. That is going to be your assertion. What is this paragraph going to be about? What part of your thesis are you proving in this part? Every body paragraph is going to have one. And as we'll talk later and get into details about transitions, you will probably need those in a topic sentence as well. Part 2 of your body paragraph is going to be the actual textual evidence. This is going to come from whatever it is you have read, or in this case, it's from the viewing of the Frontline article. You're going to use a quote or a paraphrase, and you have to give credit to the original source. I can't tell you how many times students say, well, I put it in my own words. Doesn't matter. If you did not come up with the idea, you have to give it a citation for where you got it. This is your chance to prove what you think because other people agree with you. If a lawyer says, our client is insane, they have to prove it. They have to have an expert witness come in and prove it for them. That's what you're using your sources for. They are your experts because you are not. With each evidence, you have to be able to embed the quote. This is where your handout on signal phrases come in. This is where you are actually incorporating the quote with your own ideas and not just making it sit there and look like it's thrown in. It seems kind of out of order that we talk about this after you already talk about your evidence, but for our purposes, for planning purposes, you have to know what quote or evidence you're using before you can start embedding it. You have to know where you're going so you know how to get there. And something's happened. Okay, forgive the technical difficulties, but we're back. Next comes your citation. This is your MLA format that we're going to use for this paper. First of all, here's the disclaimer. MLA format is not something I made up. It is not just me being a stickler. This is what colleges require. They will use MLA format or they will use APA format, something along those lines. For us, we're going to use MLA format. It's called a parenthetical citation because it is a citation that appears in parentheses. I know, that's mind-blowing. What it does is it gives your reader a way to check the information or they can investigate further, and then they know where to find it because you've told them exactly where it came from. For our paper on this one, it's going to look exactly like this. You will have your quote or paraphrase first, then you will put in parentheses the title of the documentary. It is a documentary, so it is italicized. And then instead of a page number, you don't have that, you will have a timestamp. So in this example, it appeared at 3 minutes and 12 seconds. When you move on and do your next paper that actually includes the journal articles as well, it will look like this. You will have the author's last name and the page number in parentheses. After you've done your quote and your citation, that comes your commentary. This is the most important part of your paper because it is the only part that is your own analysis. This is the part where you explain how the quote or evidence that you used proves exactly what it is you are claiming. Your reader cannot make that leap for you. You have to explain it to them or they can't make that connection. There's an important thing to remember, and that's what we're going to call the 70-30 rule. And that is you need the majority of your paper to be your words. It can't be somebody else's words. So if 70% of our paper should be our own words and 30% can be quotes, keep that in mind that if I use a 3-line quote, I have to have then 7 lines of my own commentary if I'm doing a thorough analysis. Anything less than that, and you're letting other people write your paper for you. Moving on, we're going to see what this actually looks like in a sample. I have written this sample and given you access in the Google Drive, but I also want to take this chance to show you a couple formatting things that we've talked about. This is my paper. You will notice it is single spaced, but it needs to be double spaced. So I'm going to show you how to take care of all of that right now. First, I will go to File, Page Setup. This is where I need my margins to be 1 inch all the way around. So I'm going to go ahead and make those changes now. Hit OK, and you'll see that it makes those changes for me, 1 inch margins. Next, I need my line spacing. So I'm going to come to Edit, Select All. And that highlights all of my text, everything I've typed. And remember, Google Docs, if I accidentally hit delete, no biggie, I can go back. I'm not going to lose anything. So first formatting is my font. I need Times New Roman, so I come up here and choose that. And you see it changes it. I need 12 point, so I change that. Next, I'm going to go to Format and Line Spacing, because right now I am single spaced. So I'm going to change that to double spaced. Now you can see my formatting looks like the paper we should turn in. The only thing I'm missing, as we mentioned, is the last name and page number at the top. So here's how I take care of that. I come to Insert, come down to Page Number. I'm going to click this very first one because that's the format that I want, and you'll see that it automatically adds my page number. But I also need my last name, so all I have to do is click right here, and now I can insert my last name. Give it a space, and it will automatically put that on each page. I do need to make sure it's in Times New Roman, 12-point font, so I make those changes. That is what you will do to format your paper. Now that we have those out of the way, I want you to take a look at what I've written. You have access in the Google Drive, and we're going to talk through it now. Step 1, I have included my introduction, so you can take a look at a sample. Right now, read through that and see if you can determine all of the parts of the introduction we've talked about and find my thesis. Pause it right now while you take care of that, please. Okay, glad you're back. Hope you did that. What you can see, or what I hope you can see, is that first I began with something personal. That is my hook. That's this part right here. Gets my reader hooked. I used a personal story. You do not have to have something personal, especially depending on your topic. You might not, but that's okay. We've talked about other ways you can hook your reader. That's just the route that I chose. The next thing I've got is I get my connection to my documentary. And in this case, I used an article from CNN because I didn't want to steal anyone's documentary and write their paper for them. I'm pretending that this is my Frontline documentary. So in this section, I'm giving the summary. Here is what they did. Here is what the authors are proving. The last and final part of my introduction, most important, is my thesis. And hopefully you were able to identify that right here. And we'll go ahead and highlight that. Okay, there's my thesis. Moving on to a body paragraph. This is where you should be able to identify all of the parts we talked about. So I'm going to give you a moment to pause this, go ahead and read this, and identify all 5 parts. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully you did well with that, but just in case, let's double check. Here is my topic sentence. I'm going to choose a color to highlight that. And my topic sentence lays out the argument that I'm going to make connecting to my thesis. My big thesis is that it is up here. It is necessary for doctors and others to do more research before converting all surgeries to robots. The specific part that I'm going to talk about in this paragraph is this robotic surgery cannot account for every incident. Hopefully you were able to pick up on that. Next, you should have been able to